Murray would pray for you.
Is anybody else here?
Justin's a preacher.
Justin.
Murray.
Oh, okay, I see.
He'll pray. You don't want to pray for us to open? He'll pray for us. He will.
Pray for us, man.
Oh, I already
Make
saw
an
it.
exception. Thank you.
Are we ready to go?
I think so, yeah. I'm ready. Are you ready, Sean? Yeah.
All right, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. It's always nice to look out and see a whole bunch of people and these wonderful students and young people that are with us. It's great. Makes our heart happy. All right. JR, you want to?
Justin.
Justin, it's your brother that's JR, right?
You're gonna offend me to start.
Try not to. I'm going to ask you to open us with prayer. if you will.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the blessings you've given to us with our children. We ask that we continue to be the best representation of you on earth, showing the loveness and kindness to our kids so they can continue that through the generations to come. We ask that you bless the school system in Hardy County, that we make the right decisions for the future of the children, and that you give us wisdom in all we do. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, now the fun starts. Come on in. The fun starts.
I'll grab a couple chairs. You good?
Yeah, there's one more chair in there.
Have the one left.
Couple over here, too.
There's a couple chairs over here too.
We've got some space back there too.
All right, we're gonna do introductions now. I think we'll start over here with Sarah. If you can get them going that way, and then you all can weave through there and over here, and that'll be good. Sarah? Joanne?
Amy?
Reese and Amy,
Christian Yeager.
Justin.
Isla, Colette,
The Kratz, and this is Isabella.
Lord.
Ashley, Anna, Grady, Margot,
Josh.
Emily? Morgan?
Andrew.
Tabitha, Finley,
Kristen? Rachel? Alex?
Jennifer Strawman.
Roy Harper. Doug Hines.
Janet Rose?
Dixie Bean.
Melvin Shook.
Sheena Van Meter.
Sean Collars?
Okay, did we miss anybody? Oh, there's Amanda Campbell back there, principal of Moorfield High.
Mr. Kreitz is out here. Mr. McGregor, Mr. Armentrout.
Tim Kreitz is out there. Mr. McGregor.
Very welcome to sit around.
Just make sure you sign in before you leave if you didn't already. We'll get them
And I
that way.
saw, Mr. Mike.
Yeah, as long as they sign in, we'll have them on the record.
Okay.
Another
So,
lady and child walked in.
okay, so our first presentation is Student Achievement Recognition or the Arts Students by Christian Yeager.
Okay, I think I have 4 of you here, so come on up here. I know you really want to. Come on up here, you guys. Come on.
Hey, Mr. Yeager.
Can you come too?
Oh,
That's hers.
oh, stand up. I don't know how this works. I forgot.
You're doing great. I just hold it like this. I want to see your beautiful picture. Okay, so here we have Kate, Alan, Isabella, and Ashlyn. I went the wrong way. Ashlyn, Isabella. And what we did was I like to do these projects with the kids where we start all the same, and then they get to do their own flavor, I say, of their own design, their own details of what they did. So we all started with the big rainbow shape of the bird, and then they decided what kind of beak they wanted, what kind of feathers they wanted. Alan did a cool spray painting graffiti bird, and Isabel's a little more realistic. And Kate has multiple birds. You can see she has babies. And we have a crazy haircut here on this. We hope the birds don't have hair. And here are the two people that were here in Jardine. And I just wanted to get some fun spring pictures up here in the board office and get the snow pine trees out of here. And I want to say right now, just for a second, real quick, I'm really proud to be at MIS representative right now because my goodness, I was looking around here and all this stuff from our school. It's really cool. It's really makes me proud.
Could we see
That is cool. Flip around and show us now. Yeah.
Turn around, Bella.
Wonderful.
Looks like.
Oh, nice.
What's
Those are so good.
Crazy bird.
So what we gotta do is we need to go out here in the hallway and we're all gonna get, you guys are gonna get your pictures taken, holding your picture for the paper and for the website, Facebook. And then if you want to, I think they may leave.
They may if they
Or
like,
if
yeah.
the agenda is interesting, you're welcome to stay.
Yes.
Nice job. That way, Isabella.
Bella, Bella.
It's Jensen.
Yeah, she's good.
Don't fall
She's
down.
out there.
Don't go out first.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Certainly
guys.
appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Mr. Yeager.
Thank you
Yeah,
all.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Nice seeing you.
Thanks for
Nice
coming.
to see you. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Okay, next up are the Young Writers, the county winner, from Moorfield Elementary School, Wade Armentrout. Wade.
Young writers,
All right,
yes.
Young Writers. I think we have two, and Esther. One. So these are our top 3 young writers from 2nd grade. Tinley and Esther and Macy Prince is our 3rd one. And I think Tinley's gonna get to make a trip down south.
Yay.
Yeah, she gets to go to, is it Charleston?
Yep, University of Charleston. I
Yeah,
think.
gets to go to Charleston.
Congratulations.
In Cobb County. Thank you very much. Good job.
Nice work.
Make sure you get your picture out there, Mr. Armentrout.
Yeah, go out there, grab your photos. You don't by chance have those with you. Do they have their readings with them?
I
The-
don't,
the
but I
writings?
could bring them.
Yes,
I'll
we'd
send
like to
them.
send a copy. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Good luck at your game.
So next up are the Young Writers from MIS,
Yep.
Mr. Mack.
Max deferring to.
So at MIS, we had places in each grade level, and so we invited a couple from each grade. We have for 4th grade, Miss Reese Keplinger. She has her story Taco. And then we also have 5th grade, Pop Cusick, and he has his story Jake's Hunt for the Monster Buck. If you want them to read, they
That would be
might.
great.
That would be wonderful. You want to?
You want to read them to us? Who wants to go first? No, don't fight. Don't fight over who gets to go first.
There was a bug named Taco. He was a clumsy little pup with chestnut brown ears, tan fur, and a white belly. Taco loved his home on the farm. His favorite spot was hiding in the hay. He and his owner, Shelly Iceberg, loved to play hide and seek. Together they made memories and had little adventures. One time, Taco and Shelly were running down a hill to the lake to skip stones. But Taco was going too fast, so he started rolling down the hill. On his way down, he accidentally tripped Shelly. Next, they fell in the lake. The next day, Taco was herding the sheep. Then some man in a mask was heading for Taco. He tried to escape, but it was useless. Then he howled so maybe Shelly could hear him. When she arrived, the man was heading to town with Taco. Shelly tied up a horse and went after him. The man took Taco to the pound to try to sell Taco. But Shelley was not going to give up. She needed a plan, but then she had an idea. When Shelley was thinking of a plan, the man was putting Taco in the cage. Taco took the extra key. Her idea was to sneak in at night when no one was there. When the time came, it was working. But when she found Taco, his cage had a big lock. Taco whispered because he wanted to be at home. Taco showed Shelley the extra key. She unlocked the cage and told Taco they had to get out of there fast. They were loading on the horse, but the man showed up. He got out his truck and Rose said, "Hey, what are you doing with my dog?" Shelley quickly told Taco to hide. Taco ran up the hill and hid behind a big can, but he tripped and knocked it over. The can rolled down the hill towards the man. He was not paying attention, so the can knocked him over. They got on the horse and went home. Taco likes a good adventure, but home is his favorite place.
Nice job. Very good, very good.
Florida County, Ohio. 12-year-old Jake Blackman was going hunting for the first day of us. He was going to his hunting stand, which was about 5 miles long from the trailhead on his dad's 104 acres. The stand sits on a tree that's at the top of the hill that runs a deer trail and creek. At the bottom of the hill, he lay poured out on the ground and rose in big piles. Right at the creek bank, he had brought his dad's cabin and climbed up the ladder into his creek stand. The day was getting by fast, but it was about lunch, and he had not seen a thing. And he was hungry, and he got out some pizza out of his backpack. His mom got that to him. A few hours later, he still had not seen anything except some squirrels. It started to get dark, so he walked back to the trailhead. When he got home, his mom had some meatloaf ready for him. After he ate, he took a shower and went to bed. The next day, Jake looked at the footage on his trail camera. He looked for a while until he saw a glimpse of a giant vertical hole. Jake took a picture of what was shown at the home. He went to his friend's house to show him a picture. Henry said that he heard that there was a legend from a few years ago about a monster boat that rode Harder County, and that people thought it was just a legend, like Bigfoot is a legend. Jake went home and got ready to go hunting the next day. He packed his lunch, his phone, and a pair of binoculars. The next morning, he went to the stand to put up a trail cameras. When he was walking back the trailhead, he saw something cross the trail. It was fast and blurry, so he did not see it at first. It looked as big as a bull, and it was a little gray, dark tail, and light, and looked like it had horns. But they were bushes. He looked, but did not see any tracks. He looked at the trail that was about 10 feet wide. He walked for another about 20 feet ahead where he was at. When he had seen the giant beast, Jake went home, ate, took a shower, and went to bed. The next morning, Jake went back to the trail to look for tracks, but he did not find anything. When he was about to head home, he had an idea. He walked back to the part of the trail he was looking at earlier. He went to the side of the trail and found a milk truck about as big as a grown man's hand. He took a picture of it and went home. The next day, he woke up early and went to the stand. When he got to the stand, he opened the windows and looked around. He saw something moving around the bushes. It looked like a bull, but a little smaller and with a set of antlers. It looked like 56 centimeters. He lifted his rifle and put it on the tripod solid. He pulled out his rangefinder and found the range of the bow. It was out of range, and he did not have a good shot. He had a choice to either wait or take a shot with it. He chose to take the shot. He lined up the crosshair and pulled out the trigger, and boom. He crossed his fingers and called his dad. His dad came to help him look for the bow. Jake and his dad tracked blood until dark. They found it about an hour after dark. Jake's dad took about a dozen pictures and sent them to his family. His dad walked out of the trail and got there side by side. They got the bow home with some effort. When they got home, they skinned the deer and took the head and feet to get mounted. When they got back, it was almost midnight. A few weeks later, he went and got the book and hung it in his bedroom. His picture got in the newspaper, and he got a reward for the biggest buck in the state of Ohio. People always asked to hear the story of the monster buck. When he got older, he went all over the United States and killed hundreds of different animals. He had dozens of animals in his life.
Good job, kids. Thank you. Very well. Very well done. Does anybody have any questions about their stories? I know they'd love to answer
So is the
them.
buck hunting a true story?
Well, probably some up there, maybe get one this fall when it's time to make.
Okay,
Nice.
good deal.
Probably a little bit, some of that in that,
Well, wonderful.
The one he dreams about.
yeah.
Very
That's right.
Okay,
guys.
next up, we have a social studies fair. Again, this
Rachel
is
Baker Thompson.
MIS.
Hello. I've seen some of you
Oh,
recently. Hello.
We're
hello.
anxious for these.
Yeah. So I have brought two social studies fair projects with me. Miss Margot and Miss Reagan won first in our school, first in our county, and first in regional. So next week they will be going to Charleston to present their board Title IX, the rule that changed the game. So I'm going to bring them up first. They have places to be, so I'm going to
Sure.
let them go first.
Oh, my.
And I'll be back to announce the other one here.
Okay. We could set it up somewhere where we can get it on the camera.
Yeah, if you would just set it maybe on
Yeah,
those chairs
set it
and
on
face
the
it this way.
Well, she could maybe.
Yes, to
So
pop it
just
right
on
up
the camera
there.
that way.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Morgan, yeah. save it.
I am Morgan. And I'm Reagan. And we are female athletes. Our project is Title IX, the rule that changed the game. The purpose of our project is to explore the history of Title IX by examining its evolution and impact it has had on women's sports over the years. We chose this topic because we are female athletes who wanted to better understand the transformation and growth of women's sports. Essential question: when was Title IX formed? Title IX was formed on 1972. June 23, 1972, when President Richard Nixon signed the Education Amendments of 1972 into law. How does Title IX help promote gender equality in athletics? Title IX has fundamentally transformed gender equality in athletics by mandating equal opportunities and resources and treatment for female athletes. Increased participation. Schools must provide equal high-quality resources, including equipment, locker rooms, practice facilities, travel budgets, and coaching. Title IX requires that athletics financial aid to be distributed equal to the numbers of male and female athletics mandate compliances. Culture says it has fostered a new generation of female athletes and fans, breaking down barriers and fostering increased investments in women's sports. Despite these advancements, challenges remain regarding the equal treatment of teams and representation in coaching roles. How does Title IX change opportunities for women's sports? Participation went from 2% of college athletes to roughly 43 and 44% today. Participation is over 1,000 in high school sports. What was women's sports like before Title IX?
Massive participation growth. High school female athletes increased from under 300,000 to nearly 3.5 million, while collegiate athletic opportunities grew sixfold.
Scholarship and finances support. Title IX requires to provide equal scholarships, including finances pathways for the female athletes that were almost non-existent.
Improved resources. The law mandate equal treatment, providing women's teams with better access to equipment, training, coaching, and facilities.
Culture and professionalism. It changed stereotypes, treating women's sports as seriously innovators, which directly led to increased professional opportunities.
NIL opportunities. With the introduction of name, image, and likeness, which is NIL, rules female athletes now command significant marketability, with many top earners in college sports being women.
Ongoing challenges. Despite progress equally, gaps remaining in coaching, where women hold fewer positions in athletics department. Leadership disputes and funding and resource still occur and see high profit events. What were women's sports like before Title IX?
Before Title IX in 1972, women's sports were severely limited, underfunded, and often seen as secondary to men's, with opportunities restricted to intramurals or clubs with poor equipment, minimal coaching, and tiny budgets, leading to very low participation rates. Though pioneering athletes and organizations fought for access, laying groundwork for change.
Nice job.
Key milestones in Title IX history. 1971, founding of AIAW, the Association for Intercollegiate Athletics was established to govern collegiate women's athletics and host national championships prior to the NCAA's involvement. 1972, Title IX enacted. President Richard Nixon signed the Education Amendment of 1972, which included Title IX. Title IX signed into law on June 23, 1972.
1975, athletics regulations signed. President Gerald Ford signed regulations specifically applying Title IX to intercollegiate athletics, giving high schools and colleges 3 years to comply.
1978, mandate compliances. This was a deadline for education institutions to make the law requirement. By this year, participations for high school girls had increased sixfold compared to 1970.
1979, the three-pronged test. The U.S. Department of Education established a three-pronged test to measure compliance, a history of program expansion, and accommodation of interest.
1982, the NCAA takes over. The NCAA National College Athletic Association began sponsoring championships for women's.
1984, Grove City versus Nunn. The Supreme Court narrowed the scope of Title IX, ruling it only applied to programs that directly received federal funds. This was later overturned by the Civil Rights Restoration Act of 1987.
2022, 50th anniversary of Equal Pay. As Title IX turned 50, the U.S. Women's National Soccer Team reached a landmark equal pay settlement with a U.S. Soccer Federation.
2025, current legal challenges. The U.S. Supreme Court agreed to hear cases regarding transgender student participation in women's sports.
Before Title IX, 1 in 27 girls played sports.
Today, that number is 2 in 5, which would be us 2 in 5 girls.
The impact of women's sports participation. Category: high school girls playing sports. 1971 to 1972. Fewer than 300,000, 7% of athletes. Present: 3.4 million, 43% of athletes.
Category: college, women playing sports. 1971 to 1972. Under 32,000, less than 16% of athletes. Present: over 22,000, 44% of athletes.
In 1972, Lewis Harrison was the first woman to officially be drafted in the NBA. She attended Delaware State University, the pioneer of women's college basketball.
1975, Mary Ann Merritt Milton, the first women to receive an athletics scholarship to Auburn University?
1977, Ann Myers became the first woman to receive a 4-year athletic scholarship to UCLA.
We're gonna play a game with you guys.
I get to keep this?
Softball. Through Title IX, only about 9,813 girls played high school softball, and total high school athletic participation for girls was roughly 294,000. Post Title IX, current and recent, softball participation rose to 362,038 by 2021.
Versus football.
Football. Nearly 4,100 participated in high school tackle football and over 68,000 in high school flag football as the year of 2024 and 2025 school year. Football data not specifically tracked opportunities virtually non-existent.
The three-pronged test for Title IX. The three-pronged tests are a test for gender equality in school athletics, allowing illustration to provide compliances by meeting any one of these. Substance per opportunity,
History of expansion and continuing practice.
full and effective argument.
Here is a graph of the pre and post Title IX.
Males coaching women's sports, 10%. Female coaching women's sports, 90%.
Post. Males coaching women's sports, 60%. Females coaching women's sports was 40%. Do you have any questions?
You girls did a lot of research. No, really, I'm impressed with the amount of research that went into your project. Excellent, excellent.
And I just love picking winners.
You didn't happen to see that guy there that did. Oh, did you? Okay. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic
Thank
work.
you.
I can remember, I was on the board, first elected to the board, I guess, in 1992. Probably some of you weren't even born then, but anyway, we had our first Title IX little battle because we wanted a volleyball team. And they told us we could have in a mural. And I said, oh, no. Title IX, we're gonna have a team. And so we got our volleyball team. So stand up for yourselves.
Absolutely.
Everybody has to stand up for themselves. But it was easy. They'd say money and there's no place, but they have to make a place. I think your mom was involved.
Oh, I'm sure she was. Chances are. Yeah, without a doubt.
You guys are, that was wonderful.
Mr. Hines, were you on the board when I approached the board and wanted cheerleading to be listed as a sport and not an activity? And the woman who was in charge became a coach and not a sponsor? And we were given.
I was saying probably
I know,
principal.
you were. We were given equal pay as a minor sport, which gave the coach a little bit of a raise. But anyway, yeah, we have had to fight for equality in athletics. And since then, cheerleading has been considered a sport and not an activity. And a coach and not a sponsor.
It's kind of like
Yay me.
bacon. Yeah, it's good. You know, any advancement is wonderful.
Yes, we will.
Good job. Nice job, girls. Good work. Stay warm. Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Yes. All that research is impressive.
All right, so we have our second presenter, Isla Murray. Isla did McCoy's Theater. She did a whole history of McCoy's. So McCoy's is really excited and has asked her to be part of their 100-year anniversary next year. And she got first place at school and at county, and then honorable mention at regionals.
Okay, very nice, very nice.
I'll take the winner. Yeah. Yes, yes, I just, I'm just gonna get a picture to start. Yes. I was really impressed. Sorry, I'm getting the picture out of the way.
There you go. She looks adorable.
Oh,
So cute.
just beans.
Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
You're in the town of Norfolk, a small town. You hear that there's a play in town. So you go to the theater. I'm Isla. I will be your usher today. The theater was originally built in 1927 by James Curtis McCoy and Eunice Dasher McCoy. But who are the McCoys? Eunice Dasher McCoy married James Curtis McCoy. James Curtis's brother was Samuel Alexander McCoy, who married Eunice Taylor McCoy. Yes, 2 Eunices. Samuel bought the Moorfield Examiner in 1902. James and Samuel's grandfather built it. McCoy's Grand Theater built the McMecken House. Well, his grandfather built the McMecken House in 1853 for Samuel. James showed movies in the public Inskeep Hall before he built the theater. What was the purpose of McCoy's Theater? The McCoy's Grand Theater was built in 1927 by James Curtis McCoy and his wife, Eunice Dasher McCoy. The theater was originally built as a movie house. It entertained audiences for decades before being transformed into a performing arts space in the 1980s. Now McCoy's Theater welcomes musicals, plays, and live music. Flood. McCoy's Grand Theater hasn't always looked the way it does now. The Moorfield flood of 1985 left McCoy's in 8 feet of water. Before the flood, you would walk through the front door under a marquee advertising the day's shows, buy your ticket at the booth, and pass through the second set of doors into the theater. There was no foyer or gathering area. The stage didn't exist. There was only about a foot in front of the screen, which went floor to ceiling. Seating went from the second set of doors almost to the foot of the stage. The original seating number was about 400. Now the seating is about 200. Before the renovation, the theater showed popular movies of the day. Now the theater hosts various plays, musicals, and live music. With the renovation, the theater added new carpet, central air conditioning, new lighting, and sound equipment. McCoy's Grand Theater is the only performing arts center in Hardee County. This theater brings opportunity for local expression, education, and social connection. It brings people together through shared experiences for those acting in the performances and for those coming to view the plays. It is also good for the local businesses nearby where customers coming to see a play may stop and eat in or before, after. A community theater allows young people to take part in plays. McCoy's Grand Theater works with Missoula's Children's Theater to offer summer workshops. This is a great introduction for kids who are interested in acting and helps build confidence. The theater offers a chance for people to see live performances that they may not otherwise have an opportunity to experience. I think McCoy's Grand Theater will continue to thrive. Next year is the 100th year anniversary. To celebrate, they are creating a book to capture the history of the building. I predict the theater will continue to be a vital part of the community and go on to perform wonderful plays and live music for everybody to enjoy.
Is anybody here old enough that ever went to a movie at McCoy Theater?
Regretfully
so, yes.
Did you tell them about Miss Eunice?
With her flashlight.
She'd come down the aisle, and if, kids were talking or
Throwing good and planties or
They were ornery, can you tell?
She wouldn't go. And she didn't want you to, how sometimes you go to the movie and you kind of prop your feet up, maybe on well, I was in there and I had my feet propped up and she came by, went like that for me to put my feet down. I was like, oh, God. So anyway.
She did hit you with flashlight.
No, didn't hit me with the flashlight.
Isla, have you been in any plays at the theater?
Yes, I've worked with Missoula's Children's Theater for the Snow Queen. I played Kay.
Okay,
Oh,
very nice.
wonderful.
When I was about your age, I was in the play The Secret Place that was there, which was a long time ago, but I was in that one. Yeah. Well, very nice job. Great work.
Thank you very much.
It's appropriate that we had popcorn.
Yeah, there you go. That was just for
I
you.
was gonna bring popcorn, but
It worked.
everybody's already full from popcorn.
So we got you covered. We planned ahead. Great job.
Very good.
Great job.
Excellent job. That's what I can say, Mrs. Rose and I know how to cook them, right?
We sure do.
Thank you all.
Let us judge again.
Oh, definitely.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have, a new business partner with Moorfield Elementary School. It's is it Metler? Is that how you say it? Metler. Okay.
I'll just say to start, we certainly appreciate all of our businesses in our community because they provide a lot of not only monetary donations, but a lot of services to our schools. And this is one of the businesses that I think they've quietly started to grow within our community and with their production. And then when Joanna reached out to me and we started talking a little bit, it seemed like our philosophies kind of aligned to what we're teaching in our schools as to what they want to put within their employees. And I think the Leader in Me was certainly a program that they recognized. 7 Habits.
Oh.
So
Those are great.
That is nice.
That was one of the things that I think we realized, that when we're trying to teach students dedication, attendance, hard work ethic, and we kept talking about that. So I thought, well, let's just make this an official business partnership. So we had a discussion and wanted to give them an opportunity to be recognized in our community. So it's a great honor to have Metler Packaging as an official business partner with Moorfield Elementary School. And I think maybe they're also going to partner with Moorfield High School.
Oh,
So we've want to present them with our certificates so that they can have these and put them up in there.
Jump in there for a photo. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Would you like to pose for a photo?
Jump in there.
Right,
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Good?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for reaching out and
Can we talk a little bit about
Yes,
business?
yes.
Please
Please do.
I think it's. You start.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So thank you very much for the invitation, for the introduction, and for being able to just introduce ourselves a little bit to you. We've been, as Mr. Armitage already said, a little bit quiet in the community in the first place and started to grow. And I think now's the right time to thrive within the community as well. And we're very thankful that we are able to be a business partner for high school and the elementary school. And for us, that means a lot more than just being able to financially support the schools, but also being able to reinforce the community. We know that the schools are the perfect breeding ground for young potentials for the kids, and we really truly appreciate and value the values that you are representing for the kids and that you are transparent to the kids. It's really impressive to see, and I was able to witness that myself when I was visiting the school. So thank you very much for that opportunity. And our general manager, Julian, will just briefly explain a little bit about the company itself because you're way more capable than doing that. So.
Thank you. Well, I think it's really difficult to present our company now after the fantastic presentations from the students, and I don't think I'm nearly as prepared as they were, but I would try my best. So first of all, as you can hear, we speak a little bit weird, probably as you might think. We have a German accent, and that is because we are German. We are a German company. We are a service packaging manufacturer. So whereas in Europe, we're a pretty big player, we're actually the market leader when it comes to service packaging material, with roughly 30 different production facilities all over Europe, with about $2 billion of sales revenue and roughly 5,000 employees. So we are a pretty big player over there, but over here in America, we're still quite small. So it was almost 4 years ago when we purchased the old American Woodmark building. I'm sure all of you are aware what I'm talking about. We first wanted to use that building in order to use it for warehousing and distribution for goods that we had at that time been manufacturing in Europe, imported them via containers to the United States. And then from here, we warehouse our products and distribute them over mainly the eastern part of the United States. But it was already clear from the beginning on that when we set foot here to America, we wanted to not just use it for warehousing, we wanted to make our products domestically over here. That is the only way where it makes sense to gain market share. So step by step, we started setting up our first production lines. And since then, we've been growing for the past 3.5 years. Started from zero, we're now at roughly 130 employees. And and that is where partnerships with school became really, really important for us, because when we make a paper bag, and that is our main product, what we produce here. I wanted to also show you some samples. So we make paper bags for the leading grocery chains of the United States, no matter if it's Walmart, if it's Aldi, if it's CVS, so also pharmacies. And then it might seem like a pretty simple product, and of course it looks pretty simple, but it's made with very high-tech automatic machines. And to run these machines and to maintain these machines and the whole system around the production, you need skilled labor, obviously. And that's what makes it so important for us to start these partnerships and get the best people to come and join our workforce later on, of course, in the end of the day. So we're very happy to be here. We believe that we found the right spot to start our America adventure. And I can say that the 130 employees that we currently employ here in Moorfield, to us, that is just the beginning. The potential to grow over here is huge, and we try to continue that growth throughout the next many, many years, and hope to have the Moorfields or Hardee County's support, and try to grow together in the end of the day.
And in the future, I hope we will be able to offer technical workshops or academic workshops, especially in that case. And we're also working with Eastern College with an apprenticeship program, which we will be hosting hopefully in fall this year. So we hope to contribute to the community as well, and hoping for your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate that.
Thank you, we certainly appreciate you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I always have questions. How many employees do you anticipate will be your maximum number?
There's no maximum. There's really no maximum. So at this point right now, we are planning a plant expansion. So right where the parking lot is at the moment, our idea is to build an ASRS warehouse there, which means an automatic storage and retrieval warehousing, with a capacity of more than 35,000 pallet spaces. And once that is built, for example, we'll be able to use the other half of the building for more production lines, which is currently used for warehousing. So that would easily give us the chance to double the workforce, double the production capacities, and so on. But at the same time, we're already trying to
to acquire more land and to see where else we could grow in the future. So there's really no maximum.
Sky's the limit.
The sky's the limit, that's right.
Have
Yeah.
you contacted the vocational school? That sounds like something that they might be able to implement, because I know at one time for Pilgrims, they implemented industrial maintenance. They might be, there's a vocational school in Petersburg that might be able to help you train some of the students, prepare them, so that's something you might look into. Maybe Mr. Shook, you're on the, you might say something.
What is it? VOTEC?
VOTEC, South Branch Career and Technical Center. Mhm.
Wonderful.
You go ahead.
What positions are you currently hiring and looking for?
Well, I mean, what we always look for is just general positions like machine operators or forklift operators. Besides that, right now, and in this moment, we're looking for a purchasing manager, for a warehouse manager, and for an accounting assistant. Those are the currently open jobs.
Okay, interesting.
No. So when speaking of the machine operator job, what I want to point out there is that it requires lots of training. So and that is why it is extremely important for us to get people on board that really want to stay with their employer, that want to grow with us into higher positions and so on, because to learn how to operate the machine is something that takes months or years. It's not like I don't know, just stacking boxes or something like that that you could teach someone within just a couple of days. So that's why it's just so important for us to get good people on board.
So do you provide that training?
Yes.
Where do people apply?
Online. So to be honest, most of our applications come in through Indeed, but also what we actually prefer is to apply online through our website. To be honest, the website is still, I guess you could say, it's under construction. It's pretty German at the moment.
We're trying to bring the West Virginian to to our website.
So we're very well aware that is not how it's supposed to be. I mean, when you open up that website, you see lots of German faces on that website, and that is not how it's ultimately supposed to be. But it's something that we are working on.
Where's your home headquarters? The main.
That's a really good.
Several places.
No. There's a headquarter, and I really like that question because the headquarter and where the town that we're out of is called Moorbach. So it's very similar to Moorfield, and some people say that's why we picked Moorfield, because it sounds.
We're okay with that.
Would you be interested in sending any ambassadors to your headquarters so we can see where?
She's trying to get a trip to
Absolutely,
Germany.
because you will see that's the blueprint of what might happen or what we hope will happen here in Moorfield one day.
Well,
hopefully.
You gotta will it.
Nice.
And now, and another question, seriously, would we be allowed to come in and look at the facility and see?
Yes,
what's
absolutely.
happening there?
Yes. So due to the fact that lots of the technology is own developed technology, we are very restrictive about it. So there are certain things like, of course, no pictures, no videos, and so on.
Right, understand, and respect.
But besides that, yes, it is absolutely possible.
I can coordinate that if you want me to.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I would love to.
Yeah. Please.
Well,
I'm
and
sure.
the
As
paper
well as good
bags versus the plastic that we see choking our environment is wonderful.
Yeah, we make in Europe we make both plastic and paper, but over here we completely focus on paper, and that's why I was talking earlier. I was talking about such a market potential, because obviously there are so many states that are banning plastic at the moment, and the domestic supply for the paper bags that are needed now and will be needed in the upcoming years is just not available, and that's why that's why we wish we could grow even faster, but yeah, there are certain limits. And the main limit that we're having is that we can't train people as fast as we would love to train people in order to grow even faster, because the market is certainly available. Yeah.
Do you participate in local job fairs to market yourselves?
Yeah, we're working on that for the career
Oh,
fair,
yeah.
for example,
Yeah.
in high school.
Yeah.
And we're also participating in the upcoming job fairs in the county.
Good.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for your support. We greatly do appreciate the
Thank you.
partnership.
Thank you. Welcome aboard.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to have you on
Thank
board.
you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
very much.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Jennifer's on? Okay. All right, I have put 2 papers at your spots. Just to be concise, I have your papers there. So we'll start with the first, which would be the one that's stapled and it's several pages together. This would be our report. They don't, from the federal programs monitoring that we had recently. We don't get like a letter, a follow-up or anything anymore because everything is now on the grants and planning system, GPS, where we do things. So this is what we get. This is what I gave the auditors as our final report. And it made me happy when Melvin glanced at it prior to the meeting when I was passing them out, because he said, well, is anything marked wrong? That made me feel good because I've stressed and obsessed over this.
Amen.
And we don't have much marked wrong, which is a plus. And I will credit Sarah and the rest of the board office for helping us make sure that we get to that point. And me too, but it's the team to make it happen this way. So on the first 2 pages, you'll see everything that we're monitored on. On page 2, it starts with the other, and it breaks it down into the various areas. And you'll either see compliance, which is what we want, or NA for not applicable, which means we don't have like private schools. And when we get to the Title I Part D, we don't do that. That's for the neglected and delinquent students. We don't have that pot here in the county because we don't have those facilities. So all those will be marked NA. Otherwise, you get to page 3 and you see compliance, hallelujah, or not applicable for all the areas. You get to page 4. And again, we're still with the not applicable or compliance. You get to page 5. And in the middle of page 5, at 5.9, we're under Title III with this one. That is consortium communication. And I don't know if you all know this, but with the Title III funds, this is federal. If you are a county that does not receive at least $10,000 in Title III funds, the requirement is that you go into a consortium. So we are in a consortium with 5 other counties because we're the county that has the EL and we're the county that gets the money. So we have to hold their money and manage it for them. Well, what we have done has been they submit their request to purchase to us. Barbie created these really good forms for us to use to keep it straight. And we would then tell the county, yes, that's an approved item to purchase with Title III funds. The county would buy their stuff and we would reimburse them. Well, that's a no-no, according to federal guidelines. We must keep doing that where they use our forms and they ask us to approve a purchase. This is legal to buy with Title III. And then after it's all approved, they have to fill out a requisition and we have to buy the product. We have to purchase and have it shipped to them. So that is a change we must make, but that is a compliance with recommendation. And in the long run, that's a compliance. I'll take it. So then you get to page 6. And again, it's compliance or not applicable. And then you get to page 7, where we have a couple things. On 8.2, Title I, Part A, School Parent Compact, on page 7, we have a compliance with recommendation, which in the end counts as compliance. But the school parent compacts with Title I still had parent involvement, not parent engagement. So they're working on fixing them and making it be the engagement because the federal terms through ESEA had gone from involvement to engagement.
And were you guys aware of that before you did? your-
Honestly, I don't know if we were or not. We are now,
Yeah,
and it's all gonna be fixed. So you get down to page 8, or I'm sorry, still on the same page, 8.5, parent and family engagement policy. And our county policy said engagement, and it didn't say, I'm sorry, it said involvement, not engagement. So the one that's on the website, and the one that we give out to the schools and all that, had involvement still instead of engagement. Well, it has now been updated to say engagement as appropriate in the policy. And you'll see tonight at the board meeting, there's a first reading for the policy that's in our policy book on family engagement being updated and changed to engagement instead of involvement. So that is a bonding. And so all the schools have to update their school policies to say parent engagement, not parent involvement. And they're doing their meetings. We've done the county meeting already to get this updated. We have to send them from each school in the county where we've done our advisory council meetings, the agenda, the sign-in sheets, and the notes from that. So we will get that submitted by June 30th, and that is how we fix it. And then we switch to page 8, and under time and effort. Everyone who's paid through federal funds has to do a time and effort form, different ones depending on the amount of time and money that you're paid for with federal funds. On our county form, we did not have a place on there that said employee signature and supervisor signature. Then it is a thing that we have to have, like on my time and effort sheets. I do them, but there wasn't a spot where I signed them. I always had Sheena sign them, but I didn't have her date them. And I always had my name on it when I filled them out. But now we have, Sean has fixed the form, and we now have a form for employee signature, date, supervisor signature, and date. So Sheena will sign them and do them every month, and I will date them every month too. Before, it was just, they were done, but we didn't have that little piece. So that is a compliance with recommendation, which in the end counts as a compliance. So we fixed that little thing. And that was our monitoring, which was, in the term of their words, it was a really good monitoring. And I'll take it if that is all. We don't have anything with construction. We didn't have anything with finance. So this is your monitoring report.
Good job, Jennifer. And thank you.
Good job for everyone. That it was very stressful, but we're through it for another 3 years.
Nice.
So in 3 years, we do it again. All this with the federal programs monitoring leads into the county strategic plan, which I talk to you guys about frequently. And it's open to be working on the county strategic plans this year, that we have to have everything in by June 30th. Can't miss that deadline. And all this stuff here ties into the strategic plan. And I've given you, I think, an outline of the county strategic plan goals. Again, focusing on leadership with instructional leadership, academics with literacy and numeracy, and attendance, working on engagement and reducing chronic absenteeism. And these broad action steps, which all tie into things that we spend money on. This is the rough draft of it. The county strategic planning survey will be going out hopefully this week on the website and Facebook, just to get additional input and thoughts, and we'll tweak it as need be. But I wanted you to have this, and this is what we're looking at for the coming year.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go. Thank you all.
Any public comments? No. Okay. Moving on to the consent items.
Move to approve. Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the consent items. Are there any discussion concerning anything on the consent agenda? Anybody have anything? You have anything?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I do have one. On page 65,
Okay.
there's a $10,000 cessation program for
Mhm.
students. What is that?
That's our vape class and cessation class that in lieu of expulsion, we have those 2 days a month where the students go to class. And if they do that for their 45-day placement, that's an in lieu of expulsion piece. And then it's also, if they're caught with tobacco, they can also go to that class instead of the expulsion. And it has a financial literacy piece to it.
Okay, where's that class held?
Out at the Workforce Development Board office, Phil Cirque does that.
Okay.
And it's
All right, I just had my
that's for the year. They hold two days a month for us that they have it pre-scheduled so we know when they are. So if it happens to a kid, we just say these are the 2 days you have it and it's scheduled out.
Okay, I was just totally unfamiliar.
Yeah, that's good.
I had no idea what it was. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? We prepared to vote? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and we're approved by vote. Next up, unfinished business, the financial updates, attachment 7, and let's see what page it is.
83.
Page 83.
That's what it was. It's marked as 7 though.
She's got a stack.
Expenditure by object for the month of March. The main thing that I would look at on this report, or that I think is a positive on this report, is the second column and the last column is a comparison of FY 25 and this current year, FY 25 to date, and then this current year to date. And currently we've spent, according to this report, $300,000 more than we did that year. However, we paid for the track, which was $100,000 that's there. And then also the transfer column, the amount that you see in the transfer, it's the way the state handles that, like our SEP 7 plan, all the funds have to come into the general fund, and they're transferred from the general fund to the general fund under the project that SEP 7 is. So really that's not an expenditure. It shows that way as a transfer out to offset the income. So that one is about $300,000 more than what it was the prior year. So really, I mean, we've tried to look at expenditures. We've looked at formula, how many positions were over. Some of those positions were ripped in the prior year. And even with, during FY 25, still having that COVID funding through September 2024 of that year, of that FY 25 year, we're still actually, we cut back on our expenses by way of looking at least year to date. Hopefully nothing crazy happens in the next couple months and nothing breaks.
You brought up COVID money. Can I ask you a question? For clarification, there's some misinformation about COVID funding that's being shared. And one in particular was stating that we hired social workers when we received COVID money, and that's when we brought social workers in by a state mandate. Our social workers were in place prior to COVID.
Our social workers were in place prior to COVID, and they've been grant funded up until this point last year, and now this year the grant is starting to run out.
Okay. But they were in place prior to COVID. They weren't COVID initiated. We did that on our own prior to any COVID. I just wanted that on the record. Thank you.
Yes. Thanks. Those were the things that I was going to point out there. Does anybody have a question? Any questions? I also have the audit is here. If anybody play copies,
you can celebrate
that.
Yeah, I'll take one.
We'll take a copy too.
Yeah. You need them back? Or?
No, I do not need them back.
She's relieved that it's over.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? No, I'm not going through it.
She can put it with the packet. I've seen it.
There were no findings. If you flip this page 103. Well, team effort. If you flip to page 103, you'll see there findings, financial statements, audit, none. Findings and question costs, major federal programs, audit, none. The only, same as the prior year, the only thing written up in the management letter that is also in here that is not a finding, it's just a management letter statement, is the segregation of duties in the schools. And short of hiring 6 additional secretaries to put in the offices of the schools, it's not something that you're going to get rid of. And it's not viewed as a high percent of, potential. That's why it's only a management letter and not actually brought up as a finding, because we have spent time, we took the finance is now doing all of the bank reconciliations for the schools. We are doing, we're monitoring their expenditures closer. I'm going out into the schools one day a month, doing random checks in the office and trying to monitor that and making notes and doing all of that to try to help with that segregation of duties and keep it at a lower level risk. So that's helped keep it from being an actual finding and just a management letter statement.
And Tara, just for the public's purpose, they may not understand how our audits work, but would you just share like the process of securing a firm to do the audit and that they're independent and that type of thing?
Yes, and we actually just went through that process. You guys approved for us to go out to bid. We'll start the whole process and out the RFPs for a CPA firm. We sent the letter to the auditor's office to follow that procedure. We have to use a CPA firm off of their list. So you have to be an approved firm through the state auditor's office in order to make their list to be sent out to us to be able to pick from. And we will go through the same process that we do with purchasing anything else. We will send out RFPs. We have to send them to at least 3 different firms. We usually send them to 5, I believe. And we'll send the whole packet out that pretty much tells what we do, how much volume we have, all of the stuff that they request, and they'll send back their proposal. And then we put together an audit committee, go through that process. We'll bring it back to the board. We'll do all of that. And then we'll secure a CPA firm to do the audit for the next 3 years.
Good job.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
Yeah.
because
Not having any.
obviously this is why, you're the reason why this is excellent.
Congratulations.
Trickle down federal programs and everything,
No,
yes.
no raise.
Nope. That's
No, it's really isn't. I mean, it is
high fives and slaps on the back.
a lot comes out of the finance office, but
keep the team.
there's a lot. It takes everybody working together.
You're the coach of the team.
I'm the coach.
Excellent job.
She does a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so under new business, first item is approval of SB 150 form application for permission to use a Hardy County school facility. It's attachment 8, page 84 in our packet.
Dixie.
Second.
Sarah and I have to leave because we were asked to visit to discuss.
Okay.
So we're gonna.
So we have a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any discussion of this?
Where did I see the same form for Mr. McGregor to use? I forget what facility for a
This-
basketball camp.
Has he done that?
That was this past last year. Remember, these are the gymnastics.
Right, but
I don't think we've gotten his form.
no,
No, we haven't gotten one yet.
we don't, but in preparing for this meeting, maybe it was last year's form that came up on our email or something, but I did see Mr. McGregor had submitted a request. Maybe it was last year's request.
Yeah, we haven't gotten
Coming in.
anything this year.
Maybe
Maybe it
know
was in a
wasn't
thread from, maybe the subject title was the same and it was in a thread or something, but.
Okay.
Okay, thank you
Anyway,
guys.
that was my question.
Anybody else have anything? All right, all those in favor of approval of SB 150 form? Aye.
Aye.
So it's approved 5-0. Next up is approval of the Hardy County Student and staff wellness policy on physical therapy and nutrition, JFE for first reading. It's attachment 9.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the floor to approve this policy, to send it out for first reading. Any discussion on this? And some of this language that's in here, no, it's not, was it this one that we helped with? Yes, it involves, like on page 92, involves the change of the language from involvement to engagement.
That's a
in
different
several-
policy.
Oh, did I grab 2?
Yeah, you're working on item C.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I see there. Okay, so this ends on page 90. So any discussion on this? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, and it's approved 5-0. So now we go to the change from the involvement to the engagement. It's approval of Hardy County Schools Title I Parent Guardian Involvement Policy. Be our first reading, attachment 10.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second on the floor to approve. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And it's approved 5-0. Next up, we have extension of the MTS bid contract for kitchen equipment maintenance, attachment 11.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the bid or the attachment 11. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And it's approved 5-0. Next up, approval of extension of Lost River Butcher Block bid contract attachment 12.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion?
I have a question. At the cost of $110.25 for a case of beef patties, what does that work out to be per pound?
$4.79. $4.79
A pound. And I assume these are frozen?
Yes.
They come as frozen?
Every once in a while, if we have a really tight meat picking up to when they're menued, I can ask for them to be fresh and they'll accommodate that. So they'll accommodate whatever we need, but we typically pick up frozen.
Okay. All right, thank you.
And how about the ground beef cost per case? How many pounds is it? And the price?
$4.89. I might have those numbers backwards, I apologize. But it's about a 50-pound case. It varies a little bit, anywhere from 47 pounds to 51 pounds, of course, but we plan for it to be about a 50-pound case when we order.
And this price stays consistent no matter how much the price of beef goes up?
Yes. I confirmed with them that they're willing to extend those prices an additional year. So yes,
Okay.
those prices are locked in.
Lucky there. I said we're lucky there.
Yes. Yes, we very much are.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And it's approved 5-0. Next thing is item G, which is attachment 13. It's
I missed F.
Summer bid. Yeah.
Thank you.
summer food. That's what I'm looking at here.
Okay, you don't have anything yet. I apologize. I just opened bids today.
Okay.
Okay. I forget one.
Just wanted to explain briefly. The first column is what the daily cost per student would be. And so the second column is what the total cost would be projected for 1,000 students to sign up. Last year, we ran between 500 and 600, but I like to pad that a little bit because on our application to the state, whatever the maximum number of students I put in, that's the maximum number we can get reimbursed for. So that's why I'm planning for 1,000.
Always want to overestimate. So that's the total cost that it would be for the 10 weeks for each student to get 5 days per week. And then the third column is what we would be getting reimbursed per student daily from the state. Of course, that stays the same regardless of vendor. And then the last column is the total reimbursement. So as you can see, regardless of who we go with, we're not going to lose any money on this. Our reimbursement rate is higher than each of our 3 bidders. However, I'm still recommending the lowest bidder out. But please let me know if you have any other questions.
Which
I move,
is multitude.
Multitude Foods, yes.
I move that we choose Multiple Food.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor to approve the summer food service bid for Multitude Foods. Any discussion?
Have you sampled any of these foods?
Multitude Foods is who we had last year. Innovation Foods is who Grant County had last year. So because I do live in Petersburg, I know a little bit about what their experience was with that. Umoja Health is a new vendor that contacted me and wanted a bid packet this year. I know that they do a lot with military families and at-risk families. Multitude Foods is shelf-stable foods, so everything that the students get is no preparation for them. They can immediately open it up, including the milk. It's all shelf-stable. Innovation Foods is fresh foods, does come temperature controlled, usually UPS and FedEx. I do know that Grant County had a little bit of issues with that last year, not on the vendors' fault at all, but that is why you see that their price is significantly higher than the others, is because they are fresh foods. It does involve some preparation, and it does involve the temperature control component piece that can be a little bit of a hiccup. Umoja Health is a combination, so it does have shelf-stable and fresh foods. From the menu, sample menus they've sent me, some of it is pouched foods, pouched spaghetti, pouched barbecue pulled chicken. That could potentially work. Does require a little bit of preparation on the students. They would have to be microwaving. Just thinking if a parent or guardian is not readily available or something like that, Multitude Foods is the easiest for the students to prepare themselves.
And you were happy with it last year?
Yes, we had some hiccups in the beginning.
All right.
And they worked with us on problems that weren't, some that they could take steps to rectify, and then some that they couldn't. They still work with us on that. So yes, overall, I know we had a few issues, but they did work through it with us.
So what kind of things do they have? I would think they'd have a lot of preservatives in if they're not refrigerated or.
Last year, a lot of the things that I saw is, because I get a control box sent here to the board office, and we all eat. So it was pepperoni rolls and marinara sauce, and they do have a bakery that makes this fresh. It's a 10-day box that goes out, so everything has to be shelf stable for 2 weeks because they send out a box every 2 weeks covered 10 days. They had Jack Links, like beef jerky or buffalo chicken bites. That was a common thing that I saw. They had shelf stable cheeses that had things in them, backpack yogurts. So yogurts that didn't need to be temperature controlled, hummus, things of that nature. Fruit juices, cereals, like I said, the shelf stable milk.
Trail mixes.
Trail mixes, yes, thank you. There were
seeds,
sunflower
things.
seeds, there were a lot of that. Every once in a while, there was some fava beans or something like that to expand. But it didn't seem to be heavily preservative packed because they're looking for it to be about a 2 week.
Crackers that were
Crackers.
big and whole wheat and whole grain.
And those really
I
good
would
little
do,
golden
okay.
graham.
All those
They did
teddy
have
things.
those, yes, they were the.
Yeah.
They had like a honey flavor. Those were really good. I enjoyed those. Those were good. So yeah, we overall were happy with them, and they worked with us on the kinks.
And their sodium level, with
They're
jerky
compliant.
and all that.
It's compliant with what the state requires on the sodium, so it wasn't.
And the people were eating it.
From what I heard.
And this is considered to be a balanced menu, balanced meals for these kids who are getting it all summer.
Yes, when I send out the bid, it is a very similar meal pattern requirement to what we see in the schools on what the meat alternative has to be, what the fruit or vegetable has to be. It doesn't, the summer food service program doesn't require that there be a vegetable and a fruit separate. It just has a lump category of fruit or vegetable because sending out vegetables is incredibly hard.
Well,
And depending on
yeah,
boxes.
I'm
Yes,
wondering.
but it is considered to be a full meal based on what the state's requirements are for those meal boxes, yes. It is similar. It's a little bit narrower, but it's similar to what we serve in the schools.
Are these meals sent to families by request?
Yes, anyone in Hardy County can request them.
Okay.
They have a form, I have a form that they fill out online that goes directly to a spreadsheet that the vendor has access to. And so they re-pull that spreadsheet every 2 weeks, and that's who they send them out to.
And they were delivered to the homes.
Delivered directly to the homes.
So are those Hardy County school students or just anyone in Hardy County?
Anyone under the age of 18 in Hardy County.
Anyone?
Under the age of 18,
Okay.
yes. So that is how the reg is written, is that we have to leave it open.
So if they were homeschooled and under 18, they could request?
Yes.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the approval of the summer food service bid signify by saying aye. And it's approved 5-0. So now we're going to the approval of Advantage E-rate project to update the internet at Morford Elementary School, attachment 13.
Second.
Have a motion and a second on the floor to approve this bid for the update and with the E-rate. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. So we're approved 5-0. And next under H says consultation required with council privilege. That must be you.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
All right.
I recommend, since it's privileged information, in communication between either board and council, that it be an executive session.
Okay.
Motion to go into executive session. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to go into executive session. Any discussion? And we're in executive session 5-0 at 6:20.
Can you help with that? Do you want to do it? Done with what minute? But I can help make sure that it says no.
Okay. Good.
Okay, so
Move to adjourn executive session.
Second.
have a motion and a second to come out of executive session at 6:43. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and we're out of executive session, 5-0. Now, if you want to proceed with personnel,
Did y'all want to jump down to that?
did I miss something
That
else?
was the last one on new business.
You got board member, superintendent.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Announcements.
Does anybody have anything for board member superintendent discussion?
No, I don't.
You want to tell them about that card?
I was gonna do that at the end, but. There's a sponsor banquet for the Moorfield Robotics, Friday, May the 1st, 2026. Dinner at 5:30 to 6:30. Open house 6:30 to 7, Duffy Memorial Methodist Church. You need to RSVP Moorfield Robotics by April the 30th. Filling out the Google form via a link to the QR code. Email for questions if you'd like to attend.
Say the date again.
May the 1st. You won't be here,
I think
Janet.
that's next Friday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Janet?
Sir?
That's when we go to
We
Stonewall.
can't be there.
Roy or Doug, either one of you interested?
I'm gonna RSVP now, if I can see the. Filling out the Google form via the link or the QR code for questions.
Yeah. If you just scan that with your camera. It
Yeah,
should take you to the link probably.
okay, okay. So, does anybody else want to RSVP that they will or won't be there? I'll be glad to do it for y'all.
I won't be there.
Okay, I won't be there. Well, so none of us will be there. Do you want me to RSVP for everyone?
If you want, it doesn't say you had to, but if you were going to go, they wanted you to RSVP. If you're planning on attending.
Well, I didn't see that. I don't see that they said that. Because an RSVP usually means yes or no. I don't see where, but
But either way.
anyway, it's whatever. Okay, so, let me get back here to the. Does anybody else have anything to, bring up with superintendent, discussion? Future agenda items.
Recognition of Moorfield Middle School for the rankings the past 4 years, and West Virginia Middle School has been in the top 20%.
Anyone else have anything? Our announcements, I'm not gonna read each one. We have them printed out here, so. Under mission statements and accomplishments.
Good meeting with the principals today. meetings with all of them.
Yeah, very important.
Good updates.
It was great to see all the kids out this evening too in their presentations, especially as social studies were explained.
Yeah,
Those two girls did a lot of work, didn't they?
We visited the Moorfield Early Learning Center the other day, and I was blown away and impressed, I must say. Because I was always one who thought, well, that's just a babysitter, that's just a babysitter. Until you go there and see it, you understand what that is about. You know, that place is just as important as our other preschool kids, you know. It was a great visit. I don't know why we haven't gone there before, and we need to go back.
And we definitely.
Yeah, annually, we
Right.
need to make
We
sure
need to
we check that
pursue,
program out.
Getting that program established somewhere on the east side of the mountain.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
I did email Deb Williams about that.
Yeah.
We meet on Thursday as a preschool team, so we'll see. I mean, we'll talk about it again.
Let her know that we really feel the need. The need for.
Okay, so now we're down to personnel. So the first item is the ratification of the suspension with pay. Until the completion of investigation, whichever comes first.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And we're approved 5-0. Next up, we go into regular personnel, and I'll turn this back over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. So based upon the recommendations of Dr. Van Meer, would recommend the approval of the following leaves of absence. Number one for Alexis Ritchie, May 18th, 2026 through August 7th, 2026. And Deborah Ferris, April 30th, 2026 through June 11th, 2020. That should say 2026 rather than 2025, if you wouldn't mind making the amendment on there. Regarding the days without pay, going to start with number 8. And if you all recall, your policy permits up to 5 days of days without pay. And with regard to number 8 specifically, there's been a request for 4 days. So first, would recommend the approval of the days without pay for Emily Pierce, April 23rd, 2026, and May 1st, 2026. If you wanted to take that up for consideration, and then would make another recommendation following your decision on that.
Sure. We have a motion. Second. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor for those 2 days? Aye. So those 2 days are approved 5-0.
However, with your policy in mind, would recommend the rejection of days without pay for Emily Pierce for May 6th of 2026 and May 11th, 2026.
Move to approve the days. You have to make the motion to approve the days and then vote.
Yes, that's
Move
correct.
to approve.
Second.
Question.
Have a motion and a second on the floor for May 6th and May 11th. All those in favor? Opposed? 5-0.
Would recommend the approval of days without pay for Allison Heflin, April 29th, 2026 for half day. Kelsey Roberts, May 28th, 2026 for 1 day. Ashley Lipscomb, April 10th, 2026 for 1 day. Kimberly Mongold, April 13th, 2026 for 1 day. Jessica Thorne, April 17th, 2026 and April 28th, 2026, which is a half day on the April 28th to bring a total to 1.5 days. Teresa Myers, April 13th, 2026 and April 14th, 2026 for 2 days. Rebecca Haynes, April 14th, 2026 and May 4th, 2026 for 2 days.
So moved.
Go through the other.
I can go through the rest if you all would like. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. So recommend the approval of the following service personnel hiring for the probationary and continuing contract service personnel rehire list for the 2026-2027 school year that you all have been provided. Recommend Tammy Shingleton as the ECAT aide for kindergarten at MES, effective for the 2026-2027 school year. Haley Hours, ECAT/aide for kindergarten at MES, effective for the 26-27 school year. Kelsey Roberts, ECAT aide for first grade MES for 2026-2027. Heather Hours, ECAT aide/aide for third grade at MIS, effective for the 26-27 school year. Jillian Bowers is cafeteria manager, cook 3 at East Hardy High School, effective for the 2026-2027 school year. Hayden Baldwin is general maintenance countywide, effective for the 26-27 school year. Jennifer May as an aide for special education at East Hardy Elementary School, effective for the 2026-2027 school year. Rebecca Haynes is the autism mentor/aide for special education at East Hardy High School, effective for the 26-27 school year. Kimberly Holiday is a substitute aide countywide, effective for the 25-26 school year. Kimberly Holiday is substitute cook countywide, effective for the 25-26 school year. Christopher Kessner is a substitute custodian countywide, effective for the 25-26 school year. And then moving down to the recommended approval of professional personnel hiring, recommend the approval of the probationary and continuing contract for professional personnel rehire list for the 2026-2027 school year. Recommend Dorothy King as English as a second language teacher countywide, effective April 21st, 2026. Emily Pratt as a gifted teacher half-time countywide, effective May 4th, 2026. Richard King is a special education teacher at East Hardy Elementary School, effective April 21st, 2026. Holly Lindale is the Grow Your Own Apprentice Coordinator at Moorfield High School and East Hardy High School, effective for the 25-26 school year only. Recommend the approval of volunteers for Ronette Pope as volunteer at Moorfield Elementary School, effective for the 26-27 school year only. Recommend the approval of the resignations of Tina Kirkendall as a cafeteria manager/cook 3 at Moorfield Elementary School, effective April 10th, 2026, due to retirement. Jordan Schamberg, game manager at East Hardy High School, grades 7 and 8, effective April 15th, 2026. Jordan Schamberg is a boys track coach at East Hardy High School, grades 7 and 8, effective April 15th, 2026. And then recommend the approval of the correction of posting. This was posting number 59733, the summer programs coordinator countywide. It was listed as a 25-26 school year only, but is being corrected to reflect the 2026-2027 school year only.
Have a motion and a second to approve recommended personnel hirings. All those in favor? Opposed, and they're approved by that.
Second.
All those in favor? Okay, thank you, everybody.
Oh.
Vote.
Oh, we need to hear votes. Sorry.
Vote on it.
Yeah, all those in favor?
Aye.
And it's approved by that at 6:56.
Marathon days.
That's a breaking.
These marathon days are fun.
And now this list that we have, this.
See you, everybody.
Have a good evening.
Thanks.
Watch it. Still see the eyes going on the owl.
So. the
Well,
one that
End stream? No. Sorry. Don't be sorry. We are not experts at this. How about,